My name is Anita McCall, and I live in downtown Lincolnton. So my district is District 3, the way that they've drawn the districts. My opponent is Mr. Ed Hatley, and it's only he and I in the race. I'm 46 years old, and I've been in engineering for 24 years. And I'm now retired from engineering. I'm very technologically minded. I know everything there is to know about, computers and programs, and I build social media pages for nonprofits. I build websites for nonprofits. I'm a volunteer with the Downtown Development Association for Lincolnton, a volunteer for Lincolnton Cultural Center with Kathy, and I'm the 2011 Red Cross Volunteer of the Year for Lincoln County, and I teach and certify people for all their classes now. I only have one child, and she is graduated from Western Carolina and married now, so it's just me and my husband and the two miniature poodles. And so I have the time now to help the community in the areas that I really want to help. I'm also appointed member for Lincolnton's Planning and Zoning Board and Lincolnton's Board of Adjustments. Well, in doing that, I really want to see people move to our area. So I just sat down and I thought, well, if you really want people to move to your area, you got to reduce it to its lowest common denominator. As a parent, you're not going to move to an area where the schools are not superior for your children. And I think that there is room for improvement in our school system. And so I began praying about it about a year ago. And I took the plunge and began to, I signed up to run the very first day that I could sign up to run. I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. So, again, Anita McCall.
Candidates. Given that our budget dollars are limited, what would be your 3 priorities, spending priorities, in the school system, in rank order?
2 minutes each, please, starting the show.
Okay.
Okay, my priorities would be, number one, that we have competitive salaries for our teachers. And I realize that the salaries are set. The only thing that we can adjust is the supplements, which I actually have the 2011 and 2012 percentages for supplements that was given throughout the county. I think that within itself needs to be adjusted so that we can bring quality teachers to our county and retain the ones that we currently have. Number 2, I think that we have some school maintenance projects that we need to deal with. Some of it are safety issues that we really need to make sure it's safe for our children, and that there's enough room for our children to be able to get the education that we so desire. And I've said it many times, the number 3 would be technology for me. I'm technology minded. We have purchased smart boards. I'd like to see us purchase more, and eventually maybe even use iPads in our system to become more up to date and to graduate, global students that can compete in the world.
Well, actually, I was going to address, well, my question is to the school board and to everyone. I'd like to address the question of compensation. I actually agree with the gentleman over here, but I don't want to keep asking the question. So let me ask you a question about pay for teachers. And I recognize I'm a corporate executive from Southern California. I just moved here a year ago. So I recognize that and I actually know some teachers pretty well. I recognize that the pay in Lincoln County on a national average is low. But I'd like to understand what the group here feels about pay for competence and competency testing. One of the things that I've honestly been, in all due respect to the teachers, been appalled at is the number of teachers in our system here that cannot even say 10 words in a row without a grammar mistake. And it's just unbelievable to me that these are the people educating my children. I have 2 children in the school system, middle school and high school, and it's appalling to me in some cases, the caliber of the teachers. So I'm all for compensation and making it fair, but what is your collective views on competency testing, and would you be do you feel that it's the taxpayers and parents are getting value when teachers cannot even speak English correctly?
I agree with Kathy in that I don't think that tenure is the best way. If you've ever worked in the public, you're evaluated for what you do. I've been in engineering 24 years. I was evaluated every 6 months to every year for what it was that I did and what I produced. The difference is they're producing students that have varying abilities. Some students, their maximum capability may be, low on the board, and so some other student might be, top notch. So I don't think that it's fair to always use student testing as an evaluation method, but I do think that what you're saying about being able to speak appropriately and articulate, I see it on social media, and it's true that teachers seem often the worst for grammatical errors. I don't know why that is. Perhaps they're just in a hurry, but nonetheless, we do need to come up with some way of evaluating the job that they're doing and to continue to evaluate that as they have been there throughout the years and make sure that they're still relevant. If we don't continue to take classes to become relevant to what today's society is as an engineer or as a whatever it is you may do, then you're going to fall by the wayside. So we just need to keep that in mind, that they continue to take classes of some sort.
Another question, school board. Yes.
Kathy, I think you mentioned, did you say you had a grandchild and someone said not public school? Yes. Okay, my question is to all the school board candidates. I hear such wonderful things about the charter school. I don't have children in school, but I hear that over and over and over, and I suppose that might be the backbone of your question. If the money goes to charter schools and all the Lincoln County schools, then they have the same amount. Why are they doing so much better from what I hear from the community?
Start.
I agree with Kathy on that. But you see different percentages of parental involvement based on areas. If you look at you guys out here at East Lincoln, I know my daughter graduated from North Lincoln. The amount of parental involvement is great out here. But in other parts of the county, it's not the same. It's just not. The other thing that I can say is our current board chose to lay off, 200 teachers. That caused the classroom size to grow larger and larger and larger for the remaining teachers. Charter schools have approximately 12 children to 15 per classroom. So you're going to get more one-on-one. And, I'm just saying those are the kind of things that we need to look at as a public school versus whether it's alternative private school, Christian school, homeschool. Those should be alternatives for families. They shouldn't be taken away. But it shouldn't be a forced alternative because our public school is performing bad. So we need to look at that. I mean, my daughter, when I was born in Stanley and moved to Lincolnton 16 years ago when I married my husband. And my daughter, she was going into the 5th grade. When she went into the 5th grade in Lincoln County schools, we had 2 young girls got pregnant in the 5th grade, 6th grade 4, and I got scared. I'm being honest. I know it doesn't have anything to do with the teachers. I know that. Please don't think I mean that. But I had the means to pull mine out of public school, and I put her in private Christian school in Cramerton Christian Academy, which was a long drive. Not everybody has that option. This is why I'm so passionate about school systems for Lincoln County. We had an option that other people don't. Now, she came out her last 2 years and graduated here at North Lincoln, which was fabulous, and she enjoyed it. She really loved it. She did well. She was a graduate of Western Carolina. She's a food safety health compliance manager now for He Show Sushi, and is over the whole United States. She's doing fantastic. But we have to make sure that our public school system comes up to par enough so that parents are not feeling like, well, this is my only option.
My understanding is that the supplements are supposed to be paid to teachers, that there's a lot of administrative staff that are picking up on the supplements. Can I have your views on that and where that supplement money should go, please?
That's right.
Okay. No dog in that fight?
Yeah, no dog.
Yes, Roger.
I have one quick question. Do principals, assistant principals do any teaching at all, or are they just merely administrators?
Maybe John could
I
maybe.
didn't
No,
understand.
maybe Elaine could
Do any assistant principals actually teach classes?
No.
They don't. Okay.
Any other
They
questions?
get
Yes,
it,
sir.
so?
I need convenient fact here, and Joan can re-answer. 20% of the supplement money from the county commissioners goes to administrators. Administrators get a higher percentage than teachers do, and since they have higher base salaries, they get a lot more money. A principal, for example, will get almost 3 times as much supplement as a teacher. Would you like to? You're talking about people.
And the school board, this is the 2011-2012 breakdown. And I'll just give it to you real quick. This is for the supplements, okay? Teachers, 6.5%. Assistant principals in elementary, 7.75%. Middle school assistant principals, 9%. High school assistant principals, 10.75%. All right, now this is principals. Elementary, 9.75. Middle, 11%. High school principals get 12.75%. And supervisors, coordinators, 9%. And the directors, 11%. And that's of supplements for teachers,
Is that regardless of experience?
regardless.
The first-year teacher, 30-year teacher gets the same supplement.
Percentage.
It's a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But because they have higher salaries, is that
Right.
why it's a higher
Yeah, it's a
number?
percentage, so, you know. In my opinion, this is a teacher supplement. The assistant principals, the principals, the superintendent, they already make a lot more money than these teachers who are hands-on with our children. This should be only to the teachers. That's my opinion.
Somebody in the room would like to know from each of the school board candidates how many relatives you have employed by the school system, without naming them necessarily, but
Sister just retired from Catawba County Schools. She's 65.
Board, we've been talking about how you would pay teachers, but I haven't heard anyone say how you would cut spending. How do you feel about the deficiencies and how the school is paying out monthly or in like electric bills, energy efficiency, facilities? Where's the fat in the budget and where we can start cutting?
Bob and I have actually already had some conversations of some areas that we can save some money, and I would be willing to come alongside of some of those. And I would like to see. I know for a fact that with the any of the upgrades to the schools, they are putting those out for bid to save money. I see it. You know, I know how that goes. But I'm saying some of the areas that he already, the conversations we've had, I know we could save money that we could use in other areas, as well as, like I say, maybe up in our technology base, so that we can graduate globally competitive students. And I think as far as money goes, I think we could shuffle around the supplemental teacher supplements. I just read to you the percentages. That's not saving money, but it's redistributing it to the people it's supposed to be going to.
with the school board?
Yeah, if you had to hire a new superintendent and you had two candidates that were closely qualified, but one just a little bit better than the other, but that person was from out of Lincoln County, would you take care of your own and hire within Lincoln County?
Kathy, let's start with that. Angry?
Absolutely not. We should not hire just our own because they are our own. We need to hire the best and the most highly qualified that will come for the amount of money that we're able to offer them.
All right, I'd like to throw out my own again. That's a hypothetical question, somewhat hypothetical. You've got a school superintendent that you've been giving evaluations to at the rate of 3.8 or 3.9 out of 4 for 3 consecutive years. Why would you not vote to rehire that superintendent, Kathy? Or would you vote?
I also think it's a loaded question,
Which Martin is good at.
which Martin is great at, by the way. He's one of the smartest men I know, but can really put his thumb on you, you know. I think that what happened with our past superintendent, again, we don't know all the information. We don't. But what we saw was he was just his contract was not renewed. My question would be, if he was dismissed for the allegations that everybody heard, why is the people who are involved in it still sitting on the board? They should be off the board. And let's start from a clean slate. Because I think everybody here wants transparency and honesty. And you want to start over with everybody knowing that we're here to better the community, the children. And it's not for my own political agenda. It's not for, in my opinion, that's what makes me a better candidate, is because I've not been in the school system all these years. I'm not promoting or continuing my educational path or my professional path. But if the past reviews, to go back to your question, if the past reviews were 3.8, 3.9, that person shouldn't have been dismissed unless there was truly unethical issues that HR saw, and it was for that reason.
You have a comment on this one?
No, I don't.
Any more questions?
I will.
Yes.
I'm a new person in this community, and we saw this incident go on, and, you're thinking, oh, we got a bunch of good old boys running this department here, and it's time for the good old boys to go. I think that people are, there's other people in this community other than the good old boys, and they're tired of it. And I think you better get the personal friends and family out of there and start voting for what's best for the kids.
Was there a question in there?
No.
I didn't think so.
Just a really
We have a
good statement.
question.